Critical Role Recap Season 2, Episode 57. So last week, the Mighty Nine went ahead and cashed in their favor after successfully killing the demon, the abyssal creatures, and closing off the portal. They got 2,000 gold and got teleported via magic to the Bright Queen herself in order to have an audience in front of her. During this audience, they attempted to skirt the edge of the truth, but eventually it came out that they were people of the Empire and that they had fought against some Kreen warriors. So they were going to be apprehended and put in jail or killed possibly, and then Caleb produced the dodecahedron and handed it over to them, which immediately stopped all aggression towards them and basically earned them the favor of the Bright Queen and the entire Kreen dynasty. So then we picked up this week with that conversation continuing, where she basically said, thank you, how'd you find it? And asked some questions about it, which they kind of evaded, but replied with the information that they had. She did ask them to join the Kreen dynasty in their war against the Empire, to which they responded they wanted to learn more about the dynasty before they would agree to completely join their cause. She said that that was fine and that they could have time to make the decision for now, that there was no pressing matter at the moment. And she also handed them each a coin, a symbol of their favor with the Bright Queen, basically. And so apparently this coin can grant them free roam across the entire dynasty and will probably gain them access to pretty much anywhere that they want to go. During these talks, they meet with a character named Shadowhand, or that's his title or something, and he's one of the Kreen who has apparently mastered the magic of time for the most part, mastered dunamancy to a large degree. And during this conversation with him and with the Queen, they find out that the dodecahedron is indeed responsible for storing souls, basically, in order to then return them to new bodies as they're born. So essentially what it does is it allows you to live on forever as far as your consciousness and your soul goes. And that is how the Bright Queen and many of the other high people of the society continue their lives and continue to gain knowledge throughout all of these numerous lives. Apparently the Bright Queen herself is about 1,200 years old and has lived through numerous lives. They specified that a baby born with this soul, this old soul brought into it, is not aware of it, but when they get into adolescence, they start to remember some of their older memories, and then through meditation are able to completely unlock their past and eventually gain all the knowledge that their soul has learned through all of its past lives. And that's how they're able to attain great heights of knowledge and understanding. And they said that the main pursuit is to gain a perfect soul, at which point they could then ascend. So that when this god returns of theirs, the Bright King or something, when the god who the dodecahedron is a piece of returns, they will be able to return his fragments of understanding so that when he wakes up again, he'll understand who he is and know who he is. That's basically the lore of it. After the conversation with the Bright Queen, they then basically follow the Shadowhand to go see Not, or Veth's husband, and there is a reunion where Veth reveals her goblin form, and he takes it in stride and says, basically like, sure, this is what you look like right now, but you're still you on the inside, so whatever. It's something that, we'll learn to deal with. She promises him that she will be changed back to her former self eventually, that they're working on it, basically. And then he's introduced to the rest of the Mighty Nine, and the Shadowhand agrees to allow to release him to them. So Not is reunited with her husband, and he is free to go now. So after that, they go ahead and make their way to an inn and basically bed down for the night in 4 separate rooms. Beforehand, they have a conversation about what they're going to do as far as in the more larger sense, like, are they going to try and help the Empire? Are they going to help the dynasty? Caleb puts forth the proposal that they should try and stop the war, that's their big goal of something that they should try and do. And the Mighty Nine seem to be okay with that idea for the most part, but the specifics of how to execute it, they're unsure of. Caleb certainly has some people he would like to kill, and they think that they can cut out some of the cancer of the Empire and show to the Bright Queen that not all of the Empire is bad. And if they take out some of these rotten apples, that the rest of them will prove their worth, essentially, instead of killing a bunch of innocents throughout this war. But yeah, so then they went to sleep, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. There wasn't any combat. It was mostly just talking and kind of establishing where they are in the Bright Queen's favor and what they plan to do with that and what they plan to do with themselves going forward. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.